So friends, today we will understand about two types of waves, that is transverse waves and second are longitudinal waves. Okay, transverse waves and longitudinal waves. See the basic difference which I am telling you, understand this. See here, this is a transverse wave. This is the direction of propagation of the wave, and all the particles of the medium will vibrate up and down. Do you understand? All the particles will move up and down. So, if you see carefully, you can tell me how is the direction of propagation and how is the direction of vibration. It is perpendicular to each other. Okay, and that itself is the definition of transverse waves. Okay, so in transverse waves, the particles of medium vibrate in a direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay, now what we say about longitudinal waves over here. Okay, the longitudinal waves vibrate to and fro. They vibrate what? To and fro. And when they vibrate to and fro, you can easily understand the direction of propagation and direction of vibration of particles. The particles are vibrating to and fro, okay, to and fro, and the vibration direction of propagation of wave is parallel to it. So the definition of longitudinal, okay, see, so here in longitudinal waves, the direction of vibration is parallel to direction of propagation of wave. Okay, this is the major difference between transverse waves and longitudinal waves. The second difference I am telling you is very simple to understand. The shape what you see here, this shape is of a convex and concave part. Convex part is called crest, concave part is called as trough. So in transverse waves, crests and troughs are formed. Here in longitudinal waves, there are alternate compressions and rarefactions. Okay, what is meant by compression? What is meant by rarefaction? Compression is that part of the wave where all the particles are closely packed, and rarefaction is that part of the wave where all the particles are widely separated. And compressions and rarefactions are alternately placed. Okay, this is the second difference I will tell you between transverse and longitudinal waves. One more thing, between two successive crests, the distance is nothing but wavelength given by symbol lambda, or two successive troughs, the distance is called as wavelength given by symbol lambda. Here, in this case, distance between two successive compressions or two successive rarefactions is called as wavelength lambda. Okay. Fourth difference. Here, transverse waves can travel only through solids and on surface of liquids. But longitudinal waves can travel through solids, liquids and gases. In all the three mediums they can travel. Okay. Now, fifth point. When transverse waves travel through the medium, the pressure and density at every point of the medium, remains constant. But when longitudinal waves travel through a medium, the pressure and density at every point will be different. Pressure and density will be maximum at compression where the particles come closer, and pressure and density will be minimum at rarefaction. So that is the difference we see in transverse and longitudinal waves. One more thing. Here, the mediums, I told you earlier that the mediums should possess certain elasticity so that the waves can travel through them. Now, elasticity are of three different types. One is called as elasticity of length, second is elasticity of volume, third is elasticity of shape. Now here the shape of the rope or shape of a solid matters. So it should possess, the medium should possess elasticity of shape, or it is called as modulus of rigidity. But in this case the volume is increasing or decreasing, so that elasticity is called as elasticity of volume, or also called as bulk modulus. These were the points of difference between transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Okay. Now the similarities also I will tell you over here, how transverse waves and longitudinal waves are similar. Both are examples of progressive waves, and progressive waves transfer energy through the medium. They move in forward direction and they transfer energy through the medium. Secondly, all particles of the medium vibrate with the same amplitude at same time period, same frequency, whether it's a transverse wave or longitudinal wave. Okay, time period, frequency, amplitude of the waves are same. Next, these transverse waves, when they are formed, or longitudinal waves when they are formed, the waves are doubly periodic. Doubly periodic means periodic in space and periodic in time. Okay. So these are the differences and similarities we can study in transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Both topics are separately explained in textbook, but I have explained you simultaneously by giving a difference between both transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Once again I am repeating the definition of transverse waves. Transverse waves can be defined as the waves in which particles of medium vibrate in a direction perpendicular to direction of propagation of wave. Longitudinal waves can be defined as the waves in which particles of medium vibrate in a direction parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. Okay. Okay. Now let us understand the relation between velocity, wavelength, and frequency. Okay, we have to understand the relation between velocity, wavelength, and frequency. The first thing, you know what is time period? Time period is defined as what? The time taken to complete one oscillation is called as time period, right? And what is frequency? Frequency is the number of oscillations completed in unit time. Okay, in unit time. Now, frequency and time period are inversely proportional. They are inversely related. If time period is large, frequency will be less, and if time period is less, frequency is large. Example I am giving you. Suppose this is a pendulum and it is moving very slowly. So in 1 second, will it complete more oscillations? No, it will complete less oscillations. But suppose the time period is less. Take this example. Here the number of oscillations will be more, means frequency will be more. So if time period is less, frequency is more. If time period is more, frequency is less. Okay, and if time period is less, frequency is more. So the formula or relation between time period and frequency is T equal to 1 upon F, or F equal to 1 upon T. This you remember first. Okay. Now, once you write this, let us understand what is velocity of wave. That I already defined. Velocity of wave is defined as distance covered by the wave in unit time. So in unit time, I'll write velocity equal to the distance traveled or displacement upon time. Okay, and the distance traveled I'll always measure it in terms of wavelength, and time I'll write as T. Okay, T stands for time period. If I substitute T as 1 by T as F, okay, lambda into 1 by T, can be written as lambda into f or f into lambda. What I get is a relation between velocity, frequency and wavelength. Okay? And a very important relation, it's a very important relation, V equal to F lambda. V stands for velocity, F stands for frequency and lambda stands for wavelength. Okay? So, in wave motion, okay, like there are certain formulas which are important. You should never forget in your life. Like I always tell, when you talk about Newton's laws, you should always remember this formula for force, F equal to ma. Whenever you talk about electrical circuits, you should never forget this formula of Ohm's law, V equal to IR. And whenever you talk about wave motion, this formula is absolutely important. You should never forget it, and that is V equal to F lambda. V stands for velocity, F stands for frequency and lambda stands for wavelength of the wave. Okay? So this is the relation between velocity, frequency and wavelength. Next, we will understand a very important topic, and that is phase, okay, something called as phase and path. Phase and path. Okay, please understand this. It's a very important topic, and many students do mistakes in understanding this concept. Okay, what is meant by phase and what is meant by path? Okay, we all know the meaning of path. Okay, something which you have traveled, that is your path. If you are walking on a road, that is your path. The wave is traveling in a particular path. Okay, we have to understand what is meant by path difference and phase difference. Now, phase and path are both related to each other, but let us understand how they are related. For that, I will take a simple example. Suppose there is a medium, okay, and a wave is entering at this particular point. These are the particles A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay, these are different particles of the medium, and the wave will enter at this particular point. Tell me one thing, which particle will vibrate first? Which particle will oscillate first? Obviously, it is particle A. A will vibrate first, and then B, then C, D, E, F and so on. Right? So, when the wave actually enters, just a minute, let me draw it properly. Okay. I will draw dotted lines to indicate the particles. Okay. So now the wave has entered and it has reached the particle E. Okay. Now look at particle A. Where it is? It is at mean position. Particle B is at upper extreme position. Particle C is at mean position. Particle D is at lower extreme position, and E is at mean position. Now the wave is traveling forward. Okay, wave is traveling forward. What will happen to E? Tell me. As the wave is moving forward, E will move up. At the same time, A, because there is continuous movement, A will also move up. Correct? So I will say both A and E are in same phase of vibration, but they are having a certain phase difference. How much is the phase difference? Okay. Now phase difference is the angle which we measure. This is a sine wave. We measure angle from here. This is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. So phase difference between A and E is pi radians. How much? Sorry, 2 pi radians. And when the phase difference is 2 pi, both particles will be together moving up or together moving down. They are said to be in phase. When the phase difference is 2 pi, 4 pi, okay, 6 pi, and so on, we say they are in phase because these particles A and E will be together moving up, together moving down. Now you understood between A and E. Now let us understand the phase difference between A and C. A and C. The phase difference between A and C will be how much? Common sense, this total is 2 pi. A और E के बीच में phase difference 2 pi है. C is half of it. So phase difference between A and C will be simply pi. Okay, simply pi. Now someone will ask, अरे sir, आपने A और C का बताया. What about D? What about D? Now, if you have that much sense, it is so easy. If this is 2 pi, this is what? Pi. Half of it will be what? Pi by 2. And so, A and D, what will be the phase difference between A and D? This is pi and this is pi by 2. Pi plus pi by 2 is how much? It will be, between A and D. Phase difference between A and D will be 3 pi by 2. It will be 3 pi by 2. And lastly, suppose I want to find phase difference between A and B. Phase difference between A and B will be how much? A and B. And this is 2 pi, this is pi, this is pi by 2. So A and B will have a phase difference how much? Pi by 2. Getting it? Understand this. In textbook, there is a very big part which they have mentioned and it may be confusing for you. But I am telling you in a very simple words. What is phase difference? Actually, when a wave enters a medium, different particles will start vibrating at different times. Like in this case, particle A will vibrate first, then particle B will vibrate, then particle C will vibrate. So the phase, what is phase? Phase tells us the difference between the particles. Okay, when I say phase difference between two particles is 2 pi, okay, that means both these particles are moving together up and together down. But when I say phase difference between two particles is pi, that means one particle is going up, other particle will be going down. Getting it? One particle will be moving up, the other particle will be moving down. Correct? And similarly, between two particles which are which is half of this, the phase difference will be what? Pi by 2, or it may be 3 pi by 2, any one. If I ask you one question, suppose, which I take A and C, okay, they are having a phase difference. How much? A and C? Pi, right? I ask you one question, which particle, A or C, will vibrate first when the wave enters? Yes, the first particle which will vibrate is A, and later on C will vibrate. Okay, and so there is a difference in phase angle, and that phase angle is how much? Pi between A and C. If you understand this now, you can easily understand what is the path difference between the two particles. Okay, This was phase difference. Path difference is much more easier to understand. We all know difference in paths is called as path difference. Take example here. Now, I had told you earlier that A and E are the particles which are in same state of vibration. So this distance is lambda. The distance is what? Lambda. Lambda is the wavelength. So the path difference between A and E, between A and E will be lambda. So can you tell me the path difference between between A and B? This whole wave is lambda. This will be lambda by 2 and this will be what? Lambda by 4. So between A and B, it will be what? Lambda by 4. Between A and C, the path difference will be how much? Lambda by 2. And A and D, okay? A and D, it will be what? 3 lambda by 2. Sorry, it will not be 3 lambda by 2. It is lambda by 4, lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4. 3 lambda by 4. In this way, we understand what is path difference and phase difference. Okay. In textbook, it is given, which is a bit lengthy and slightly confusing. But I have explained it in a very simple manner. The phase is an angle which explains us the state of motion, state of vibration of the particle. State of vibration of a particle. Okay. By knowing the phase, we come to know how the particle is vibrating. And path between two particles. What is the path difference? This we can find by using the wavelength lambda. Okay. So path difference is measured in meters or angstrom, but phase difference is measured in what? Angle. All this is measured in what? Radians. Radian. Okay. That's about phase and path.